Welcome back to the Sports News Analysis YouTube channel. My name is Mike. I'm continuing my Week 17 NFL previews and analysis. This video is for the game between the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. This one of your win and in games for Week 17. This one, the winner takes the NFC North and also takes the spot in the playoffs that goes along with it. And, you have the Packers getting Aaron Rodgers back. That was announced today. They also could be getting Randall Cobb back. So if you look at the fact that from an offensive point of view, outside of Jermichael Finley, Aaron Rodgers will have close to his full complement of weapons here, it looks like, against the Bears. The Bears coming into this game off that disappointing loss on Monday night, and I know it's really hard to overlook that when you're evaluating this game, but, as I always say on here, the Bears aren't as bad as they played that night, and they probably aren't as good as their best performance this year. They're probably somewhere right in the middle, and, it's going to take Jay Cutler, getting over some really bad performances since he's come to the Bears versus the Packers in this game. He has 9 touchdowns and 16 interceptions in his career versus the Packers, where you compare that to the rest of the division, where he has 33 touchdowns and 16 interceptions. So Jay Cutler's going to have to bust out of that funk. For as good as he looked, or as good at times as he looked versus the Browns, he looked pretty bad last week versus the Eagles as well. The Bears have to get a running game going in my eyes, not only to help Cutler out in general, but also Cutler's had specific trouble against the Packers when Dom Capers and company dial up blitz packages. So if you get into a situation where they're in predictable pass situations, I think it could be a problem for Cutler. From the Packers' point of view, on offense, I know Rodgers is coming back, and supposedly he's looked great the last 3 weeks now, throwing the football in practice. You expect a little adjustment period for him to get back into the flow. That's obviously where Eddie Lacy in this running game just needs to keep up the same momentum, the same tempo that they have while Rodgers has been out. I mean, that's one thing. If there's one saving grace to what the Packers have gone through this year from an injury standpoint, is that they were sort of forced to really focus on running the football. And what's emerged is Eddie Lacy as a feature back, and now you get a healthy Aaron Rodgers back with a chance to still win that NFC North. So, we'll see how all this stuff unfolds here. Can Lance Briggs in his second game back, be a deterrent from a run defense point of view versus the Packers? It didn't really seem like he made that much of a difference, obviously, against the Eagles last week. And Bears rushing defense has been historically bad. You can trail it back to when Briggs went out, but I think it's going to continue with Briggs in the game here. And I think you're going to need a big performance by Cutler and those big receivers. And more importantly, I think this game is going to be about how Cutler handles that blitz I talked about, and is he able to hit big plays to his big three, his 2 big receivers, his tight end, and also Forte out of the backfield. And something, a little thing to watch in this game that could be a big thing, is if you look at Matt Forte's pass protection numbers, he's probably the worst pass protection running back in the league this year, something that may be a factor in the game. But overall, I think Aaron Rodgers gets adjusted nicely, I think even though this game is on the road at Soldier Field, you have to give the Bears a little bit of an advantage there. I just think the Rodgers coming back, Jay Cutler not quite back up to speed yet in my eyes and clicking on all cylinders. Couple that with a good Packers run game against a bad Bears rush defense. And I like the Packers -3 on the road in Chicago to take the NFC North. Guys, let me know what you think. Hit me up in the YouTube comments. Hit me up on Twitter at SNewsAnalysis. Previewing all the games of Week 17. Previewing all the playoff games. Also getting into my NFL draft coverage here in the next week or so. So be sure to subscribe. It's your one-stop shop for the NFL here on YouTube. Thanks for listening. Have a great night.